Now, in BBC News Extra, we're going to take a closer look at some of the stories behind the headlines. And today, we're focusing on climate change. A group of young people have just taken part in a 2-week camping trip to the Arctic Circle, not for fun, but to see for themselves the effects of climate change. They were sponsored by Ben & Jerry's Climate Change College. Ben & Jerry, as in the famous ice cream brand, by the way. It was set up by the ice cream makers in partnership with the World Wildlife Fund for Nature, WWF, and along with the polar explorer Marc Cornelissen, who joins us now. First, though, we're going to hear from Jerry Greenfield, the ice cream maker, about what motivates the project.
People ask me, why is an ice cream company involved in global warming here at the Greenland ice cap? Well, the ice cap is melting, and as my partner Ben has said, take it from a couple of old ice cream guys. If it's melted, it's ruined.
What a character. That was one of Ben & Jerry. Here in the studio is the polar explorer Marc Cornelissen, who led the project, and one of the students who went along, Hayley Potter. Welcome to you both. First off, Marc, can I ask you what got you involved in this Ben & Jerry's Climate Change College? I must say it sounds extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. I'm very happy to have the support of the company. Well, the whole thing started off with making expeditions in the polar world for more than 10 years. And to a polar explorer, it's quite clear that the environment is changing up there. And I wanted to give some more attention to that fact and even get actively involved in the research. And then finally I thought, why not involve young people, because they will be confronted with the challenges coming out of the change. So that grew up the idea of the Climate Change College, and talking to Ben & Jerry's, they said immediately, this is something we really like and like to be involved in. So that started the whole thing.
And one of the young people involved in the program was Hayley here. How did you find it? What did you actually do?
We did a few different things. While we were out there, we spent the first week in a place called Ilulissat, and we got to spend a lot of time talking to the local Inuit people, finding out their experiences of climate change as well, because climate change isn't something that we're projecting for the future, it's something that's happening right now. We also had the great pleasure of meeting with Akaluk Lung, the Greenlandic chairman of the Inuit Circumpolar Conference, and so taking it from his point of view, the locals' point of view. And then Marc took us out onto the ice cap, where we were helping some of the scientists working on a satellite for the European Space Agency and really doing the groundwork, the calibration and validation for the satellite when it goes up in 2009.
So Marc, what was the actual project that you were working on in terms of getting hold of the data for this project?
Well, actually what we were doing was going onto the ice cap in one of the most complex zones. You must imagine, if you have Greenland, this enormous ice cap, near the edges, especially in the south, you can see high dynamics in the ice flow. If you go a little bit more into the center of the ice cap, we see a lot of summer melt. It seems to be getting bigger and bigger, but the melting water is not reaching the coast yet, and it's just dripping down the snow and refreezing again.
So why is it happening in the center?
It's happening in the center because at the edges the melting water will reach the sea and will disappear, but now a lot of the melting water is still collected in the ice cap, and that will influence the observation by satellites who will use radar. And we are figuring out exactly how a radar from a satellite is reacting to the properties of the snow.
So Hayley, are you a scientist by training? Is this what you do in your ordinary work?
No, absolutely not. The Climate Change College is just that. It's teaching us the science behind climate change so that hopefully we can reach people of our age. At the moment, there's a big difference between what the scientists are saying and what's reaching my age group, and we've had a lot of experience.
What is that difference? What is the message that's reaching your age group?
I think the message that's reaching my age group is that there is a problem, we need to act, but
I mean, scarcely anyone hasn't heard that message.
Yeah, getting 18 to 25-year-olds to act can seem a challenge. So from a personal point of view, I want to make sure that everybody knows it's very, very easy to do. It's economical as well. You know, if you're a young person, if you're a student, you can make money out of being greener. It doesn't have to be an uphill struggle.
You're called a climate change ambassador, and part of the whole point of this exercise is for you and your friends who went on this program to go out and spread the word. What are you going to do? How are you going to get the word across? Just with people you talk to, or have you got some other plan up your sleeve?
Yeah, a lot of communications. We're producing a campaign individually and one between the 3 of the UK ambassadors to hit the whole of the UK. We've got website climatechangecollege.org, which you can find out a lot of the information on not only our experiences out in Greenland, but what we plan to do when we get back. But we need to reach people on an individual level. A big part of the problem is businesses, so we need to show businesses that being socially responsible is going to pay off for them financially and socially, and also the politicians as well. They need to know that the British people do want to do something, are interested in climate change, to give them the power to take this forward.
And Marc, you are a polar explorer, and
Yes.
you've done an awful lot of different projects.
Yes.
Are you turning more and more into a scientist?
Well, I think it's good to distinguish. I'm not a scientist, but I'm helping scientists to collect data. And this is exactly what the project is doing. I think everyone should stick to its territory, like a business and an NGO and a scientist, but it doesn't mean you can't cooperate. And one of the things I like to do is, just make sure we gather more data, and also to provide this platform, as Haley was saying, we need a more attractive platform to communicate what we're finding out.
An attractive platform? Do you mean projects like this?
Yeah, well, you need, like, if you say spread the word, you must reach out to people, and scientists are not very good in telling the public in general what they're finding out, and this is an additional way of doing this, making a story more attractive, told by normal people, which makes it in a way more credible. Yeah.
So you're basically using the media then to try and get the message across by what you're calling a college, but in fact the numbers involved are very small and not what other people would recognize as a college.
No, it's a very select group of people, but of course the ultimate mission for the students of the college is that they reach out to more people. That's the ultimate effect that we get out of this effort. And well, it's very important that we connect to the science as well, because we have to talk facts. It's not only sentiment, it's not only saying there is something bad happening, we also have to provide a perspective. And one of the misconceptions is indeed like green living is costing you money. And we talk to a lot of specialists on sustainability, for example. And it's a proven theory that being green can be very profitable. And I think in these respects, Ben & Jerry's as a company is credible as well. They started this way beyond it was very, very modern to say we're very responsible to the environment. It's a best practice.
Haley, a final word to you. What will you take away from this experience of yours?
I think personally I'll take away that although I do my own part for the environment, there's a lot more I can do, and it is simple and everybody can do it and everybody should be doing it. And we can make a big difference in small steps.
I hope your enthusiasm is infectious. Haley, thank you to you and to you, Marc Cornelissen. Thanks for coming into the studio.
Thanks.